That's
Good
freaking
morning.
awesome. Good
Happy Friday.
good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. It's
How are
Friday.
you?
Yeah, it's Friday. It's Friday. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Um, so if there's our regular, I don't know, we've had some regular people on Friday mornings.
Yeah, we do. We have like our regular people that sort of join us on Friday mornings. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So
So good
just a
morning to all
little,
folks.
yeah, good morning. Um, I'm Shannon from I Evolve TV, and
Dreama.
that's Rima from Destiny Words.
Yes.
And we've been partners for a while now, but we've just joined, or I Evolve TV, um, just joined Soma Fusion Media. They got it. Yes.
Yay. Good. Yeah.
Their LLC is a little bit longer, so I think I try to confuse it, and it doesn't.
Yes.
It's easier to just say Soma Fusion Media. And
Soma
there's
Fusion.
several podcasters on on their channel, and they have a lot of different platforms. And so we're glad to be the newcomers to their station for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah,
It's exciting to move and I love expansion though, I just like anything we can
absolutely.
expand out there is awesome. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So Soma Fusion Media is a production and book publishing company that explores the biggest names in the industry, the frontiers of consciousness, spirituality, personal growth, the emerging paradigms in psychology, health, various sciences, and innovative philosophies that reflect commitment to the advancement of individual, social, and global awareness. People will discover that there are no rules to follow or methods to learn. Being in the moment can transform even the ordinary circumstance into profoundly moving catalyst whilst living in the moment.
Right.
So we're currently an all-female team, and owned radio network. We air live radio shows on our exclusive platform for the collective of strong, fearless female radio hosts in a male-dominated industry to raise their voices freely in the area of expertise and causes, introducing listeners to an array of guests, men and women from all walks of life. We are a firm believer in the unity and equality of all. Whew,
Yeah.
did
Good.
it. That
That's
is a
good.
mouthful.
Yeah, it is. That's a
So
mouthful,
that's
but
so yeah, so that's Soma Fusion Media.
that's
Now we
really
know.
cool.
Yes.
All women. That's really cool.
Yeah, yep. I and I think that Katie's really open to having that kind of um, edge and flow. I think it really is the spirit of raising our voices in equity, you know,
Yes.
and honoring all walks of life. So I
Yes.
think but yeah, currently yes. Hmm.
That's beautiful. Well, I do have a new husband I got here. I picked up here the other day.
What?
Uh,
Oh,
yes, and he
he
is
looks like a free thinker.
yeah. He's a free thinker. Yeah,
And a bit of a nudist.
he's a great guy. He lets his guts hang right out.
Oh, he just wears
Yeah.
his heart right on his sleeve. Oh,
Yeah,
he doesn't have any.
exactly. Yeah, I picked him up to help me when I do my body scans. It's going to help me
Oh,
to really hone in on what's going on for some, my client in their body. So it's, then I can show them
oh,
this is what I'm feeling. This is where the blockage is, when I'm feeling energy. Wouldn't that
that's
be cool?
fabulous. Yeah, that's a really fabulous idea. And if
Yeah.
you maybe put a T-shirt on him, and then you can do body scans like remotely and stuff, or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking of. Even using him for doing body scans for my, as like the substitute for my client, you
Right,
know,
like a stand-in.
like a
It's a,
stand-in, a
it's a
proxy.
pretty
Yeah,
yes,
but
that's
he
a pretty
needs some.
lame.
He's got his
Sorry.
gut out. So, but and all of his innards come out, so it's really cool. So
Oh,
it'll go. I mean, it goes right to the heart, so you can really move in there and really get a really, move in for some real accuracy on healing the body, which is really something I'm really honing in on right now. So I've had
yeah,
so many clients that are needing body healing as well as mind, emotional, but it all ties together, right? It's like the machine. If it isn't working inside, the body's going to start manifesting in the other places and spaces. That's the
yes,
alignment
that is.
the whack.
You're sure
So,
right about that.
yep. So I'm going to name this guy. I don't know what his name is yet. I'm thinking, what
Guy?
can I name him? I don't know. Um,
Uh,
I've had one suggestion to name him Tool.
I was thinking more like Fernando.
Fernando. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. So
For
yeah,
sure.
he's really he's cool. So that's my latest
Not much
thing.
of a talker though.
Yeah. No, he only has half of a brain. He-
I love
he-
it.
yeah. So, but I like that too. His brain comes out. So you can like
Yeah,
you can like show the brain and then like really, show all the parts of the brain and where if there's any blockage or whatever, it's just really going to be a great help to move in and really define body scans.
that's
Um,
awesome. I like it.
yeah.
I like it a lot.
Look a lot. Yeah. So that's what's going on for me right now. And
Fabulous.
so our subject today, this is really exciting.
Yes.
Angels, guides, and versions of your higher self. I love that. I love that.
Or versions.
Or versions
Because
of your
I think when we talked about talking about this,
yeah.
whatever. Um,
Yeah.
that um I think I was thinking more about how people think of these influences in our lives in this
Hmm.
dimension.
Yes.
And so I thought that was kind of interesting. Like some people will say, well, I refer to my higher self, and your higher self can take multiple forms. So like there's so many different ways to like look at it, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter as long as
There's no wrong. Yeah.
no.
No, that's right. For me, I know I look at my angels and guides as those entities, these entities uh that are with me. Um, sorry, I just had a rush come over me. I don't know what it was. Something just sort of passed through.
Okay.
That's why I stopped for a second there. So I don't know what's going
I
on.
heard.
Maybe I might be feeling somebody else's stuff. That's what I'm
Hmm.
sort of feeling into. But it
I
was
should
really,
probably start our chat.
it was just an intense rush came over me. I
Hmm.
don't know what it was, but anyway, yeah. So I move with my angels and my guides, which are different all the time. And I move the spirit animals too, which is
Sure.
another type of a guide. And basically, spirit animals are very connected to Native American heritage, and moving and learning from your spirit animals, and is another version there as you can go with. But I have found a little ditty here I thought might help us a little bit, help
It's
keep me
really hard for
focused.
me to not say about Jack and Diane every time you say that. I just want you to know.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah. And it's about here, let me go here. Um, how we can experience our guides. A lot of people would like to tune into their own guides. I have a lot of people I know that would like to know what are my guides? Who are my guides?
Yeah.
And so that's why a lot of times when I do readings, I will go into that if that's the direction spirit sort of leads me or the person asks me. If you don't ask, there's an old saying, you don't ask, you don't receive. So you
Right.
really got to fine tune and really be precise what you're looking for and what you want to know. And so when you go to somebody and you say, I just want to, and you open it up, you don't know what you're going to get, but you define yourself down. I really want to connect with my guides or my angels, or, I want to elevate. When I see higher self, I feel like that's my personal Holy Spirit, sort of in my crown area, just, moving through there as my higher self guide, um, which leads you into all truth, basically. Whereas I look at my guide, my spirit guide, which is like, I have a Native American guide, Chief Hummingbird. When I look at him, he's leading me in a different direction. He's giving me things that are connected to Native American heritage, tradition, and I mean, I first met him when I was I was just dancing in my kitchen, And that's when I sensed him, and he showed up there and was with me, dancing with me, and I'm like, who are you?
That's awesome.
And
So
that's
I
what
should mention why I'm laughing, because people are be like,
okay.
oh my gosh, that's so rude. Why would you start laughing when you say his name?
Yeah.
Because the reason why is because I I mess up his name all the time. And I call him Chief Whippoorwill or Chief. I mean, you know who I'm talking about, or you
Yep.
know
Yep.
that energy that I'm talking about. But that's why I laugh, because I was thinking, oh yeah, it's Hummingbird.
Yeah. Chief Hummingbird. Yeah. Uh, yeah. He's a great guide. He's been with me for a lot of years. Ever since that time, I've seen him ever since then, and he is um, he is a Cherokee uh, chief, and I've had some amazing experiences with guides that have taken me on, you know, sort of taken me on adventures. What would I say? How would I term it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, where you sort of
journey.
step, yeah, journeys. You step into that journey with that guide, and they will guide you into where you need to go and
Right.
what it's gonna take for you and your personal journey to come into higher elevation and letting go of stuff that's really not serving you or needs to be detached because it's like um, sucking your energy. It's like it's when you're holding things, it's basically it's a you need an intervention of some sort. So if people can't get to you, the spirit realm sure can, you know. And
Sure.
that's another thing. Our angels. A lot of people, when they do a reading or whatever, they're terming the angels, and the angels a lot of times are your family members
Sure.
that are walking with you in this incarnation here. They've transitioned over and back into their light, and now they are acting as guides for you.
Yeah.
I have that happen a lot with people. And
Yeah.
I know that happens for me too. My first daughter transitioned as an infant, and she is now a guide with me, constantly with
Aw.
me. Yeah. So I love
So
that.
yeah, yeah. I just wanted to
Yeah. Go
mention
for it.
this book
Yes.
and the author, James
Yes.
Van Praagh.
James Von Prague. Yes. I took his class. I graduated from his class.
Oh, thank goodness that you graduated.
Yes. I graduated. I met him when we went and did a class, and he is a cool dude.
He gives a
Very,
really, really good description
yes.
of um, who are your spirit guides, who are your guides, guides. Period. I guess.
Yeah. He's very clear on that and talks a lot about tuning into your guides.
Yes. So it's right at the beginning of the book. So I'm sorry, I'm scrolling, scrolling,
Oh,
scrolling.
that's okay.
But obviously, we're not gonna. Oh, I'm splitting the screen, so I can't really see it. Like, oh, there, I do a better job. I had to make us smaller so I could see it.
Yes.
Okay.
So
What
guides.
are the guides?
What are guides? That's a good.
Or yeah.
Let me see what it says.
So we don't have to read this verbatim, but
No.
they can take many I don't want to say forms necessarily, because they aren't necessarily they're formless,
Right.
at least in my mind. But that might be different for somebody else. It just depends on how they see things in,
I think
what
it,
I don't
yeah.
mean actually with your eyes, just in your mind's eye.
Yes.
Um, they can be your teachers. They can inspire, influence, motivate, protect, and direct you through your lifetime.
Yes. Exactly.
So
And yeah,
um,
that's what guides are basically. They're gonna help guide you to the next place in your journey. And a lot of times especially family that has transitioned, they really want people to know, how to move forward. And
yes.
if they passed from, whatever they passed from, I mean, sometimes they feel like the family didn't have the chance to say goodbye, or
Yep.
whatever. So they really want you to be able to move forward and live to your greatest expanse and make the most of your time. Like you said, live in the moment, be in this moment.
hmm
So yeah.
Absolutely. So they can be family members, like you're saying. Like for me personally, I think I would define it's an ancestral guide. Um, and but it truly doesn't matter. And so they might be bringing some aspect and mirroring some aspect of your personality. They might be guiding you. And then I think that would kind of be discerning for some people that think of all their guides as some version of their higher self.
Yeah.
And they just take that form that's recognizable, that it's something outside of, maybe not outside of you, but not outside of you, but that is directing you in some way. And some people might just call it your intuition. Um, so,
Right.
so
Right.
there's not a human incarnated that are without these.
No, no, everybody has a guide. What, I heard, oh, well, this has been a long time ago, that when every infant is born, that it is a sign, an angel is assigned to that infant, and
Hmm.
it follows that infant through its whole life. And this is like, and that's where the term your guardian angel comes in, that this infant is attached and it follows you through your whole life, and it takes care of you and protects you. Some of the crazy stuff I seen my kids get into as infants, I'm thinking this had to be true, because I'm like, how in the hell did you make it through that? uh, some of the
That's
stuff, the
funny.
crazy stuff that they would, I mean, literally, when my oldest son was, I think he was 9 months old, babies, they start climbing stairs by themselves. This is my first kid, after I'd lost my first. This is my second
Hmm.
child. I turned my head. I'm like, where did he go? I'm in the kitchen cooking. I turned my head and we had this huge open staircase. Next thing I know, I look and there he is. He's going up the stairs. He's sitting at the top of this huge staircase, sitting there just, la di da di da. He's only a little tiny thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, how did you make it all the way up those stairs without sliding back down and hurting yourself? I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
he was like, his guardian angel was working overtime. I'm telling you, all the time, because he was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Um, I'm not kidding. So I do believe that we do have a guardian angel that's with us, myself, but
Yeah.
uh, exactly. But guides are different for me than my guardian angel.
Hmm.
Um, and and then you can go into even more expansive, like ascended masters and such. That
Yes.
what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah. And you can also, maybe I don't, you could be going through something in life, or you could just be just regular plain old. It doesn't matter, because you're the creator being. You can call more guides, just
Yes.
that will help you on in a specific thing. um, and you can ask them to stay. You can say, hey, you know what, I'm it just depends on how involved you want to get, and that's different for everyone. But I do like these questions and answers that he brings forth.
Okay, go for it. Yeah. That's
Do
what
we all
I
have
needed.
guides? We already answered that.
Yes.
Can you tell me who my guide is? No. Nope. Do you know what my guide looks like? Well, that's when you have to go to Dreama,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. I can help you with that.
Or develop your own site.
Hmm. Or yeah, exactly.
How do I get in contact with my guides? You practice.
Yes.
Um,
Raise your vibration to meet them. That's good.
mhm,
Because that is
yep.
that's what it's all about, really. It's vibrational. Everything is vibrational.
Hmm.
And that's it.
Yeah. Are you reading? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sort of
You,
just reading through it. Like
yeah. You've been. I think you're getting a whole bunch of messages.
yeah, I think so too. I'm stumbling all over the place. I had like at first, but the energy that hit me was sort of nauseating, honestly. And I thought, what's going on? I was
Yeah,
like,
I noticed that it took your breath a little bit.
it did. It took my breath away, and I don't know what somebody's going through, but it's really was intense. And now I'm sort of trying to move over that, but it's like grabbing me. I've
Well,
been
they can.
so just
There are people in our audience right now. So if this is connecting for you, and you maybe don't want to, like, actually, say something in the chat, feel free to message either Dreamer or myself. And if you are a friend of mine and it's easier for you to message me, I'll just
yeah,
forward you over. So
yeah.
feel free to do that.
Well, whatever it is, I just want to release any. I just want to Release anyone that is having physical issues with nausea, um, uh, even pregnancy related nausea. That's what I'm feeling.
Okay.
Just releasing any nausea right now, any heaviness, just releasing that today for you, and bringing your body back into alignment. Calling all our spirit guides.
Yeah.
Oh,
Call in the cavalry.
yes, calling all their guides. Um, oh, this lady says that how we once we begin inviting your guides, how are the ways you might experience their presence? Well, number one is inner knowing. I like that. You feel or sense your presence of your guide. You know, you can hear a still small voice. You, but like you said, that there is that also that inner presence that says, and that's the consciousness that dwells within us that says, yes, no, go right, go left. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, that's, it's, I think a lot of it is, we are all created to feel and hear and sense our guides, but it's how vibrationally um attentive are you to what's going on in your field. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
As because if you let your vibration go really low, you're not going to be tuning into really a very high vibrational frequency that you're needing to be in,
Mhm.
to connect to those frequencies that those higher vibrational beings and entities and energies are affiliated with. You know, it's
Mhm.
when you get out, lose your own mind. You have to get outside of what's that thing that tries to keep you wrapped up in this dimension, because higher dimensions are not in this dimension. They're not going to be down here. They're not going to be here in this low vibrational heavy dimension. It's going to be in this ascended place. That's why the chiefs showed up to me when I was dancing, because when you dance, what are you doing?
Well,
You're
yeah, you're raising your vibration.
you're raising vibration. You're out of this context and this layer, and you're ascending into a different consciousness. That's why dancing is so powerful.
Right.
um
And that's why they also recommend some form of creative art,
yeah,
whether it be dancing or it could be cross stitch, whatever it
yeah,
works for you.
whatever
If it
works for
brings you
you.
joy and it
Yeah,
takes you out of, because those things are meditation. So they talk about using meditation. Those things too are a form of meditation.
yeah,
Like when I was painting my fence last summer, man, I would just check out.
yeah,
I was on that, and so you cross we talk about the hemisync in some of the, um, was it the Gateway Project, those documents that we have just been, we've been practicing that stuff for a really long time. They just gave them like official terms.
yeah,
It's basically you practicing becoming whole brain. So like people might, if you're very analytical, you're really into, you're a number cruncher, you're gonna exist more on your left side, versus the more artistic side is the right, and the more feeling side is the right side. But what we want is to be whole brain. We're most effective as humans in that way. So that's why all these things, we talk about them over and over and over, because they don't exist outside of, it's not just like, okay, there's this file and that's the only thing. It You interact with all these things all the time.
yes,
One isn't I'm not finding the right word. Um, anyway, I think I made my point.
yeah, yeah, I agree with you. And that reason we talk about it over and over too is because that's how we get it.
Right.
We have to do it over and over and over and think about it over and practice it over and over and over. And as we do practice, we fine tune. We get better
Mhm.
and better and better. Practice does make perfect, and that's true. Uh,
So we covered spirit
okay,
guides.
earth guides. Ooh, cool. I need to change my glasses. These are my old ones, so they're not the greatest. Um,
Earth guides. So what he's saying is that, people that come in and can deliver messages even from you. You know how somebody says something to you just so profoundly, and you're like, wow. how'd you know what I was thinking,
Right.
or wow, that really resonates with me.
Yes.
And I remember years ago this happened, and I had a girlfriend. Right, we were just out of college, and she was just really bummed out that she hadn't found a love in her life. And for whatever reason, I said, "Well, you keep looking and kissing the wrong frog or whatever, and it's going to happen when you aren't looking, when it's least expected."
Yes.
My 20 something, I don't think that was really coming from my own intellect at that point in time. It was just something that came through, and you know
Yeah.
what, like just a couple, or it was like a week later or something. She met her husband. They've been married for like, I don't know. I don't want to date myself.
Yeah.
Many years.
Many years. Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. Yeah, I know what you're saying. So he terms those as earth guides. That's cool.
Yes.
I've never thought of it like that. I was thinking earth spirits. But that is
Oh,
totally
yeah, like the elemental earth
like the
spirits.
elemental earth spirits. Yeah, that's where I thought it was going. But it's earth guides, more like just those people that we run into that are speaking they're speaking out of the consciousness of the divine, of the spirit,
Mhm.
and giving you
Yeah,
guidance.
I don't know that. Maybe it's because I don't have those things don't really show up for me. Those are more synchronicity things that I try to take notice of, and
Yeah.
so maybe I'm developing or evolving towards that understanding. Um, but I don't. They weren't ever incarnated beings, because like the Celestine prophecy talks about, plants, everything having an energy,
Yeah.
um, so it kind of is along that same line, I guess. I
Right.
derailed. Oh,
I guess
sorry.
that would be another podcast or whatever,
Sure.
titled um, fairies, gnomes, and you know,
Yeah.
and other earth
Well, and
spirits.
those are just names from what we've deemed as fairy tales that people have given them, those names, but they're just a way to describe some message that somebody is receiving
Mhm.
from the energy of the earth. So, I mean, you call them whatever you
Call
want.
them
You
what
can
you
call
want.
them
Right.
Bullwinkle if you want.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
exactly. Well, we always have to label everything, you know that.
Yeah, we label things, but I think just those terms will turn people off,
Oh
and
yeah, for
and
sure.
then they're like, oh, you're and then that person that's maybe just expressing the messages that they're getting,
Right.
um, are, gosh, I can't think of the right. I'm losing my words today. Um, they're just not given clout. They lose
They
their
lose it. Yeah, because they're way out here, and it seems to
to that person, to
to
that
that
person.
person. Right.
Yeah,
It's
that
all perception, though. It is really,
the
honestly.
the judgy person.
Yeah, it's like somebody told me one day, what were they talking? They were talking about angels, and they said, well, angels and fairies are the same thing because they seen it as fairies, and
They
this other
could,
person
yeah,
sees it as angels. Like, oh,
sure, right.
okay. So I'm not gonna,
And
yeah,
that's fine.
that's
But if,
cool.
if
Yeah.
people struggle with the ability, because again, they're analytical and spending more time on their left side of their brain, which is a
Hmm.
very third dimensional thing
I
to
gotta remind you about this guy. We just looked at all his guts.
right,
I mean,
then
he lost his liver.
oh no,
I was gonna, I was gonna take his brain apart. That's what I was gonna
you
show
spend
you.
a lot of time at the bar.
Yeah, see, the brain comes out, but like you were saying, um, that's important. How you think?
Yeah, yeah.
Got to put
So
his liver back in. Yeah,
no, I forgot what I was going to say, I think.
yeah. You were talking about different points of view. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, like it's having the ability, if you're really analytical and you're judgy and you're criticizing what the word, you have to listen to the intent, not the letter.
yes.
And
I love.
that you can move through things very quickly, um, by having that understanding that don't get hung up on what people are calling things. Listen to the intention of what they're saying.
Yes, I love that. That's the truth right there. You can't get hung up on that, and that's one thing I had. I mean, it took a long time. I had to learn that big time because I had a very what would you call it? A very closed path for so many years of my life. You know what I'm saying? not very open to anything but what I knew was Western religious concepts, you know.
Yeah.
And so then I had this expansion, and I was like, wow, there's so much more to know and learn, you know. And
Hmm.
now I have no restriction. I'm like, okay, no restrictions. It's okay, you know. Let's just.
Right.
I don't care what you believe or don't believe. It doesn't. It's okay, you know. Or what you don't have to believe me. I don't care. It's okay.
Right.
So that's cool. Okay, guides
I don't
are
believe in the Beatles. I just believe in me.
okay.
That John Lennon said that.
Mm,
You know, he was
yeah.
a walrus. I could be the walrus, but I still have to bump rise off of people. It's a line from a movie.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what
I
are you
didn't do a
talking
very
about,
good
woman?
job.
What are you talking about?
You're the
You're
walrus.
confusing. Don't confuse the person. Okay. Guides are close by. Yes, they are. Very close
Yes,
by.
they're always with you. Yep.
Oh,
Or, but you have to, because we say this, or I say this so much, that we're the creator being, that we're the captain of the ship. So they're waiting
yeah.
for your direction. So, and they're because we are in an incarnation of free will, they won't intervene. So unless you intervene to like steer or guide you in a way that um, that is probably to your own benefit, unless you ask them.
That's right.
They're probably
Exactly.
pretty bored. Probably would need something to do.
Right. I've heard that said before too. Your angels do nothing if you don't tell them what to do. You need
Right.
to, and every person has angels with them that they need to let them know, hey, I need you to do this. Go out there and get me this,
Why is
or
my
go do this.
it like the thing? I don't know. I'll have to fix it.
What happened?
The rest, it stops. Problem loading the page. I
Oh,
will get it back. Okay.
okay. Yeah,
Keep
go ahead.
talking.
Just refresh for a little bit. Yeah, that's okay.
I'll get it. No big deal. Oh,
Well, yeah.
so um. Oh my goodness. Oh, here I got it in a different version.
Okay, perfect.
You guys are close by. The next one is, how long do your guides stay with you?
Forever. Forever and ever. They don't go nowhere. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, I have noticed that spirit animals or spirit guides do change for people. Um,
Hmm.
you know, but most other guides just sort of stay the same. I mean, and never change. After they've been invited, why would they leave? You know, as long as you invite and you desire that energy and that contact, and you're good, you know.
Hmm.
Um, I have I sometimes, like the last one I did, for a guest. What am I thinking? Guest. Something is going on today. The last time I did a session the other day, where I was actually looking for guides. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't come to me, and her guide came to me. It was Jesus and Mary Magdalene and Yogananda. I'm like, you got a lot of guys. They just keep showing up, and it's all these. Let's see who else. Oh, an Indian guide, uh, and and a collective of light beings. It was really interesting. Yeah, she had a lot of guides, and I was like, she was blown away because she said, "How'd you know
Well,
that?" I was like,
right. Well, she's probably spent some time praying.
"Yes, oh yeah, very much."
Probably a lot,
Yeah,
and
huge intent with that. Yeah. And
mhm.
I felt like I needed to take her in that direction of bringing her, you know, letting her know these guides were with her. She was going through something, and she's like,
Aw.
that was so right on. I was like, cool, because I don't know what I'm doing. I just am asking. I ask and I write. I ask and I write. Okay, what's going on here? I ask and I write. So that's how I get,
You're so
you know,
funny.
do it.
I don't know anything. I have no idea what I'm
I
doing.
don't. I don't know what I'm doing. That's what I tell everybody. I don't know what I'm doing. I just open the door and the messages come in. So that's
Right.
it. But it was really interesting. But that's what I'm saying. When you talk about guides, that's very different. But those all are very connected to her, you know, and her journey. And
Yeah.
as like you're going through your journey. Okay, where are we at here?
Um, maybe I'm not on the right one. Oh,
Pray. What does that say?
hang on.
Praise.
That's it's like the wrong tab is showing up. I'm very sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's
All
okay.
right. That
It's
was
all
around
lovely. It's a sort of a unique day today. The energies are different. I can feel it, and energies are really heightened today. Feels like a real tight guitar.
Ah,
You know, you pluck the strings, it's gonna scream.
right. Um, I thought I read that something's going into um, Scorpio, like
Mm.
the end of this week
Oh, really?
in
Okay.
that energy. And
Yeah.
then my I just signed up for astrology in your pocket because I'm really interested in how that affects because the energy when we talk about how it shifts and you can
Yeah.
feel it and wow, I'm really off today. It's like this perpetual case of Mondays sometimes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so at 6:15 a.m., Mercury parallel Uranus in Taurus. It's a great idea with a potential to shake things up, unifying energy, inspired and excited. Go forth with love. Love Anne. Anne Ortley puts
Wow.
this out. So I don't know what all those things mean. So
Right.
I'm
Right.
very
Not an astrologist either.
yeah, and
Uh,
it's just and those things are still just a template. It's just being aware of those energies. It is kind of interesting. Gives you some insight for
it
sure.
does. But I know I can feel it when it's a new moon and a full moon. It just totally rocks my ship. And I'm like, whoa, what was
Yeah.
that? Here comes more. Just the energies of it. And so, yeah. It just, the whole package can be really intense. Are
Hmm.
guides assigned to us? Oh, yes, for sure. I do believe
Yes,
that. I believe that.
but you assign them as well. You call
Yeah.
them to you. So
Yes, I believe that.
yep,
Totally. A sacred contract. Ooh, that's good. We
yep.
form many sacred contracts, I believe. Um, a sacred contract made up of destiny points for the coming life. There are
So do you think, Dreamer? Do
incredible
you think that
opportunities. Hmm.
as we either fulfill our contracts that we came here, the lessons that because we're all here to grow and expand and learn
Yeah.
lessons of this incarnation. And so sometimes that is people talk about it as sacred contract or soul contract. These are all kind of like overlapping ideas. Um,
Yeah.
you know, in evolving, it's all kind of like the same kind of overlapping idea. And you can define them and put them in really strict boxes, but who cares, right? So,
Right.
but do
Exactly.
you think that as we're moving through that, do you think that when we are ending or breaking or cord cutting, whatever, those contracts, do you think that we're perpetually like starting new ones?
Yeah, I do believe so. Definitely. I think we're making sacred contracts all the time. And even with our angels and guides too. Yeah, for sure. Because
Hmm.
your expansion goes on. And if you come into expansion with, uh, say, um, say you're on your path and you come into adopting some children, just per se, right? And so now you are really praying with great intent. Oh, I would love to know, really show me how I can serve these children more. And all of a sudden, Mother Mary shows up in your field, or in that in that mind's eye, and you see Mother Mary. Well, if you look into Mother Mary, she's all about children and child care and moving into that. So
That brings me
so now you've created a new sacred contract with Mother Mary to walk with you through this child care and
right.
this time that you've adopted these children or taken this child or whatever into your field or into your life. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and depending on who you are, it's not. I mean, that's the Christian version of that energy, but
Yeah.
there's others. There's Kuan Yin.
Kuan Yin. Yeah, that could be Kuan Yin that shows up. Yeah, I mean, I really connected with Kuan Yin years ago, and then she sort of like I felt like that contract was up. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Yeah.
and then I started connecting with someone else that came more present, but I didn't sense Kuan Yin. But once in a while, when I feel a real warrior spirit, I connect to Kuan Yin, like a female empowerment warrior, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, um, totally, I agree with you there for sure. That things, things on our path are going to shift and change as we're coming into higher frequencies, and we're gonna shed things off that maybe we were connected to at a lower frequency, which is what we want to do. We want to come
Yeah.
into that highest vibratory state so that we can invite everything that we really desire into our life. We want to move forward and into greater expansion all the time. That's our greatest desire. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. So like if you follow the Norse traditions, it would be Freya.
yes.
The Celtic traditions was Bri- Bridgid. I can't say the
Is it
name.
like Bridget?
Yeah, it
Yep.
is. It's like
Yep.
a
Something like that. Yeah.
version of that.
Yep.
The Greeks thought of Gaia, Egyptians thought of Isis. So,
Yep. It's going to be
traditionally, yeah,
whatever. Yeah. And then sometimes, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all in, that's what's so magical and beautiful about it. In this beautiful life that we live. It's supposed to be magical and enchanted, I believe, where we are living to our greatest expansion. And then all these energies are with us. And so, like,
yeah,
I can connect into somebody that I don't even know, and they can have all these different energies, like
mhm,
Freya, and then on one side, and Mother Mary on the other, because there's no wrong,
right.
It's so
We
beautiful.
in fact, we named our our little booth that we did. We named it the Enchanted Cottage.
Yes, yes,
We did
exactly.
live enchanted, right?
Yes. That's what life is about. That's what I believe.
So this kind of goes into the next chapter. Or I mean, we just used it as a guide to talk
As sort
about.
of a
So
guide, right? Yeah. I
yeah,
like that guide because it keeps me focused because
yes,
I'm like I have such a huge, I mean, I'm out there all over the place. So keep me focused.
yeah.
Put some boundaries around me or I'll
So
be all over the map.
how do we kind of talked about it a little bit, how we get in contact with them.
Yes. Yeah. Invitation, like we do with everything. When I
Right.
meet with a client, I'll say, okay, I want you to focus on who you would really like to connect to today. And that draws in the energy. And then bam, we have a connection. That's
Right.
because we're powerful. We are, like you said, we're the creator, we're creating, and we're calling in what we want. You're living the life that you think about, what you dream about, what you think about, you spend your time on, that's what you got. So
Right.
that's how you call them guides, those angels, those spirit animals, whatever you need to you. You call it in your mind's eye. You see it.
Yes.
That inner knowing. Yeah, I love that. You're using that. What is that?
For,
Clairsentience.
for,
That clairsentience right in your gut feeling. I know that I have a wolf that's my guide. I mean, that's how I feel. Uh,
mhm.
I know that I know. I mean, I know that,
The
I'm
wolf
connected.
shows up a lot for us.
Yes, the wolf shows up. In fact, I'm getting a wolf tattoo. Huh? Eventually.
So
Eventually.
Nick would like to know.
Mm-hmm.
Sent me a message. Um, he's got actually two questions. The first, I'm going to go with this because we just started talking about animal guides. Can my childhood dog be my spirit animal slash guide, or can my current dog living be a living guide? Yes and yes.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yep,
Um, Yeah, I see
absolutely.
a lot of animal guides that show up for people that are their pets that they have transitioned. They'll come forward just to be acknowledged. I'm still with you, still with you.
Right.
So yeah, definitely. And that living, have you ever seen it where a dog will come to the person? The person doesn't go to the dog, or the animal comes to the person. And
Yes.
a lot of people will believe that that animal, say they just lost their father, and all of a sudden this animal shows up on their front porch, and they're
Oh
like,
yeah, I think that happens a lot to people
yeah,
a
they're
lot.
like, "Oh my God, I think this is my dad."
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know about that, or they're
I don't know
delivering a
either, but
message.
that's what, they feel that connected spirit because the animal
Right.
is so loving. Or I've heard it's with a son. The person lost their son, within 6 months, this animal showed up, and it was just so unique because that was the type of animal the son always talked about having, and then it just showed up in their field, and he's like, I know my son sent this animal to be with me, and so it's just a really powerful connection that you have.
Well, yeah, and then the other part of that though is as well is if somebody does not connect on that level, um, that's probably not where they're going to bring forth message. They're not going to keep, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and also if you do connect that and that actually didn't happen, so it doesn't necessarily matter, but you define it as such, then they do. So
Yeah. Yep.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
because you now called that energy or that spirit or whatever, because it makes sense to you, then it is that, I mean, there's not a hard and fast validation of any of these things, you know.
Yeah.
It's just your inner knowing, as it says.
Exactly. Your inner knowing. Perfect. What was the other question? Is there another one?
Oh yeah. Um, can a premonition be mistaken for a message from your spirit guide or angel? Um, premonition be mistaken. I don't know that I don't know that it matters. If it's a message, it's a message. I mean,
Yeah,
I wouldn't worry about personally defining the difference.
I agree. That's very true. Because I mean, a premonition is sort of a gut feeling. You just got this gut feeling. I'm going to do this, and whether it be your guide, your higher self, whatever, you're still
Hmm.
flowing in the right direction. You know.
Right. Exactly. So I'll scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
Let me find the
Yeah.
right tab.
No.
Um, sparks of light. Some people see this, some people don't. Some people just, oh, it's a reflection
Oh, a
off of
guide
something.
presence. Yeah, like orbs or sparks of light. Yeah.
The sparks of light or other indicator of a spirit guide's presence. Sometimes when I know my guides are with me, I see little sparks of light. Um,
Hmm.
so because now that person has defined that as a way that they acknowledge a presence, you're
Yeah.
going to see sparks of light.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Um,
Books
book
falling off a
off the
shelf.
shelf. I have people that tell me that. Yeah. Stuff getting moved, books falling
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
That's how they know that their guides are with them. That are grandma's here.
I
Whatever.
know. Whenever a door slams or something bangs, I'm like, I'll define it as somebody in my family that has
Yeah.
passed
Too. I
away.
hear him walking around upstairs. I'm like, I hear the floor creaking. I'm like, oh, hey, Dad. Glad
Yeah,
you're here. Glad you're here.
and that happened a lot. It wasn't books. It was like wine glasses at a restaurant that I used to work at in like the early '90s. The name of it is John A. Lau Saloon, and it burned down last summer. So it was
Oh,
like this historical landmark, and it burned
yeah.
down. And there was always um, like the ghost hunters and stuff went there
Yeah.
and did and filmed in there. And um, but anyway, so a lot of people that work there have stories for sure,
Yeah. Oh,
about
so.
like pizza pans flying off the top of the oven, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. There's a
Mhm.
lot of spirit energy in that place.
Yeah. Well, it's burnt down now. I guess she had had enough.
Yeah, I guess so.
the
Okay,
the
time to
woman
break this down.
the woman that they thought haunted it was named Agnes, and it would have been the wife of the well, she and her husband in
Of
today's
the
terms.
owner that
Oh,
started it.
oh, yeah, yep. Agnes Lau, yep. But she, we talk about, you know, when our soul leaves and we occupy a different dimension, you don't stick around your body, you,
No.
so, but anyway, she passed away in Detroit, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's what people thought that she hung out there. So,
Wow, she sounds mad. I'm burning this place
yeah,
down.
I don't know. It was like a spark from a welder that was doing some renovations.
Ah, okay. Okay. Well, maybe
I
it
don't
was
know. I
uh,
mean, that would be, you know, this,
yeah,
you
maybe
know,
it wasn't her fault.
earthly
Probably. Okay, we're sorry we're blaming
explanation.
you. It's okay. Maybe you didn't do
Well,
it.
she would get people did claim that if they didn't if she didn't like them or they somebody was doing something wrong like skimming money off the till or something that
Yeah,
she would do stuff. Yeah, there's lots of
really?
stories about that. Yep.
Wow. Hmm.
Yeah. I I wasn't bothered by her, but I sure did not like to clean that upstairs bathroom
Ooh,
at
yeah.
all. Like, I literally opened the door, and I wouldn't let it shut behind me, and I would take that mop and I would just go like that and, like, grab the trash and, like, I'm out. Like,
Clean
so
it
I
out.
probably
Yeah, I'm done.
did a really bad job.
Wow. Well, that's excuse me. That's cool.
So free writing after meditation, you do that all the
That's what I
time.
do. Yeah, that's what I do. That's when I channel. That's how I channel. I free write after a meditation, and that's how I get my messages. It seems supposed to be the most accurate way so that I can present to my client exactly what they need because it has nothing to do with me. So that's cool. It's like, this
Yeah.
has nothing to do with me. So that's really cool. Yeah, that's a good way to channel into your, or connect to your guides, ask the question and just write, after a
Yeah,
meditation.
what comes to you. There's not a right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong. Exactly. And some of the stuff I write, you'd be like, what? What?
Well, I have seen
Even
a lot of
understand
stuff
it.
that I've seen a lot of stuff that you've written, and you're like, I don't know that I have no idea why this was this way or whatever. When you show it to me, it like makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
So
That's the nice thing because it makes no sense to me. When the person that's with me, they're like, "Oh, I get it totally." Um, get into the
so
habit of asking. Step
yep,
one. Yeah.
yep, absolutely. Ask. And you're not necessarily saying it out loud, you're saying it in your head.
In your mind's eye, in your thought. Yeah, your intent. Just saying, okay, connecting. Thank you, guides. What's that say? For the highest truth and compassion for offering solutions to my
Oh,
issues and
sorry.
problems. That's all right. I was just reading that because I think it's really good.
Yep.
And just sort of because having gratitude is the path to all things, really.
Oh,
Coming,
that's the other thing too. When they do direct you or give you some kind of message, don't forget to thank them.
yes,
Know,
that's
it
why
just
that caught me. Thank you, guides. Thank
it's
you.
a
Being
yes,
very gratitude. That's your way to
full
expansion.
circle. Yep,
Yes, beautiful.
yep. Is there gonna be another? Oh yeah, okay. Listen,
Listen.
yeah.
Hello, I'm listening. Yeah.
So one time I was just driving down the road. It was just kind of a nice road, and I'm like, I wonder what their names are. Like, not that it even really necessarily matters. And so I asked,
Hmm.
and I got three names like right away, and they're not names that I even really know anybody of those names. So and and then I was kind of like, wait, could that be right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you don't have to worry about it. It's fine. they're
Yes.
they're your names for them. So
Yes. That's perfect. Exactly.
yeah,
Just listen. Um, what's that? Write with your spirit guides. Well, that
once meditated. Mhm.
yeah, sort of like meditating and writing, same type of
Yep.
thing. Yeah,
Yep.
then write. Um,
Ask for sign.
that's for a
That's
sign.
fun.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Did I
Really.
ever tell you about that story? Or I think I have. I was making a really big life decision about what to do, and um, and I asked my guides, my angels, to show me um, three different. And you ask for more than one so that you can have your own personal validation.
Yes.
Three um, rainbow unicorns.
Oh,
Did I
yeah.
ever tell you this?
Yes, I remember that. Yes. And then bam,
And
bam, bam.
yes, and, like, my sister gave me a rainbow u unicorn watch. Like, you gotta think I was thinking of something that wouldn't just be in my environment automatically, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
like, things like a feather, like, people will connect those. Well, I have a lot of like, my down comfort I have a down comforter, and I have some feather pillows, and they lose
Oh,
their
I
feathers.
see. Yeah.
So
So
to say
feathers would
that,
be it.
like, I'm gonna run I'm gonna my I if I cleaned everything in my house, I'd probably have a pile of them. So that's not a very good thing to ask for a sign.
Right.
But you could ask for a specific type of feather because those are going to be white. You could ask for, like a bigger feather or something.
Right.
They'll know what you mean. And then, so yeah, my sister gave me a rainbow unicorn watch, and then I don't know if it was her or somebody else, gave me a birthday because it was right around my birthday, a rainbow unicorn. Like had it on the card. Um, and then I walked into Walmart, and the whole girls section had a theme
Rainbow
of rainbow.
unicorns.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I
you
got
can't.
that.
I know
Can't
that feeling where you're like, okay, you got me. I got it.
Yeah,
I'm getting the
and
message.
it happened like I asked for it, and then I think the Walmart situation came in first, and that was like that same day, and then the next day I got the 2 others.
Wow.
So give them like, 3 days.
Yep.
3 things in threes always are helpful.
Yeah, that's true. And we just wait for the sign because it does happen all the time, whether no
Because
matter.
there is the law of 3, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, or a threefold rule.
Yes, there is
Yep.
for sure.
Pay attention after you get them. Pay
Yeah.
attention to those things.
To the
Yep.
guidance that you receive. Yeah. From what you asked for. Yeah. Whatever you put it out there, get ready. You're going to get something back. Um, Stay in the energy of gratitude. Amen. That's right. Yes, 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 yes. Gratitude. Because
Yep.
that is the opening, pushes the doors open when you come into gratitude. And I mean, that's how I start everything and finish it. I'm so grateful.
Right. Yeah, and there's leaders out there, spiritual leaders like Muji Baba. He says in his book, and others have said it too. If you have no other prayer, let it be thank you.
Yes, that's beautiful. I love that. And
Say thank you for blessing.
that's so good because gratitude will carry you so far. Just if you get into a place where you're very low vibrational, just start thinking of the things that you have that you can be grateful for. I have this. I have, you know, I mean, you can literally be at the bottom and think of, man, I can breathe. I have my
Yeah.
health. I have my health or whatever.
Or
Find
you
some
have you have the ability to think.
yeah.
Whatever the thank you is.
Whatever
Mhm.
you can grab a hold of that'll bring you gratitude and hold it for 17 seconds. The next 17 seconds, another idea of gratitude will come to you. Then you
Yep.
jump on that one and you keep building. And then all of a sudden you've pulled yourself up out of that lower vibration and you're going higher and you're coming in. And then all these beautiful things that you're asking for and your guides, your angels, they're all coming into your field and bringing you exactly what you are asking for. And you're going to see shifting and changing like bam. Release the outcome and trust in a plan better than your own. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. I love that.
Yep.
Release, because if you
Yep.
have to
Plan for
let go of, what is it? Thinking that you have
that.
to have a certain outcome. Let go of that. That's just not good for you. It's got to be
There's
like this. Mm-mm.
there's a Garth Brooks song about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? What's the name of the song? I think, but the
Oh,
line
God
is,
for
"I thank
unanswered
God."
prayers. I love that
Mhm.
song. That one time that's what the spirit told me one day. You need to thank God for unanswered prayers. I'm like, oh, okay. Be more childlike. Oh yeah, that will go
Yeah.
so far. Wow.
Create, discover,
Yeah,
enjoy, be in the
enjoy.
present,
Be very childlike.
play.
You stay very childlike, you're gonna go so far because children have no resistance to anything. They don't get mad at somebody just because they don't. They might get like 2 seconds. Oh, I don't like you, and then two minutes later, you're my best friend, and they get over it because they just let it go. I'm not gonna hold on to this. That's just the child mind, and that's why we have to tune into that child, and really tune into that childlike energy. It's really
So,
positive and
and
I,
sometimes just playing to play. That
yes.
also heals your inner child too. And so if you're actually, actively working on that,
Hmm.
that's a perfect opportunity to, do some healing. So,
Yes. Oh, totally. And that's really a positive thing. That's why I always
mhm.
sing that song. I don't want to grow up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna grow up because I am not really. I'm serious. Anyway, ask your spirit guides for their names if you feel called to do so. Yeah,
Right.
very good.
Yeah, you don't have
Yes.
to.
Yep. If you feel called to it, ask them, what is your name? And trust your own psychic ability. That's huge. Every person has a psychic ability. Trust in that gift that's within you and just following that. And if you get stuck, that's when you can hunt down somebody like me, or and Shannon will help you. We'll put you on a better path to open expansion and direction if you
Yeah.
need just reassurance. But that trusting your own guidance is so powerful. It
And the
really
only
is.
thing we ever do is help you write your own ship, trim your
Yes,
sails and validate your experiences. So
exactly. Exactly. That's good. I love the way you said that.
thank you.
Validate your own experiences because that's what I feel like I do all the time. That was the session I had a few days ago with that lady with the Mary Magdalene and Jesus and everything. And that's what she said at the end. She said, "I feel like you just read me my own life story." It was very
Yeah,
it's just validation,
very
validation.
helpful when people are able to be seen, um, truly seen,
Yes.
not labeled, and because I think we do a fabulous job at being jerks.
Yeah. I love that.
and
That's the
and
truth.
not and that's called secondary trauma.
Yeah.
When you're there's always going to be sticky points in someone's healing, maybe because that's a developmental something happened developmentally or whatever, and no, none of us are outside of that. So
That's right.
when we don't
Exactly.
honor that somebody else's experience and hold space for them for their own growth and developing and healing that, we create secondary trauma, and we create secondary trauma for other people all the time too. So it's
Yes.
like a constant cycle of trauma heal, trauma heal. So
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. And that's why we're here that's why we're here for expansion and to understand and grow and love and learn. That's when you stay like a child, you're not gonna, you're gonna let go of crap. You're not gonna hold on
right.
to it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's powerful because that holding on to that crap, you're not gonna tune in, honestly. That's gonna stop your tuner. Yeah.
Stop your tuner. Your radio station's not going to come in.
Yeah, it's gonna go. You're gonna be like trying to tune in, and then it's like, I can't hear anything. Well, maybe it's
Right.
because I'm mad at everybody. I'm angry. I don't know.
Right. Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let it
That's
go.
awesome.
Let the tuner run. Yeah, yeah. So it's good. But this has been awesome.
Yes, it has. Look at us. We were like really succinct in our time today.
Yeah,
9:02.
yeah.
Wow.
You did awesome.
So
Thank you
did
so
you.
much. So,
High
thank
five.
you so much. High five! Yay! Yes. Here we go. That's awesome. But thank you all. Thank you all for that have joined us. And we just have great gratitude today for all of
Yes.
you. And
Yes.
move into your space and connect with your angels, your guides, and your higher self, and see where expansion leads you. It's going to be fabulous. And
It will.
Shannon is here, and I'm here for you, help you on your journey. So
Yep. So come visit us over at Soma Fusion Media. There's lots of different podcasters on there that have beautiful messages.
yes,
I could list some, but it just go because there's lots of cool things over there. So, and we're really really happy and excited to be a part of that. So, thank
yes,
you, Katie. Katie, our producer, has been watching. So,
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
so yeah, you have a lovely
You
drive.
a
Be
wonderful.
careful. Drink
Yes,
coffee. I know you're
yeah.
tired.
Yep, I'm gonna take my guy here with me on a journey.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
your extra husband.
Yes, this is the guy for body scans so that when I have a client, if you have an illness, it will be seen now because I can just take this guy and utilize that for that. It's a great learning tool. I'll say it that way. Yeah.
I looked up dog
Yes.
for Nick, but I'll just call him
Oh, okay. Beautiful.
in the medicine cards. All
Okay.
righty.
Awesome. Well, you
Have a
have a
lovely
great
day.
week. I'll see you next Friday and we'll be talking to you. And thank you all so much. Blessings and namaste.
Bye.
Bye.